Hey you, I've been trying to make this video for a little while now. In fact, I made a video that I edited and don't have the right gear, but I was trying to patch stuff together. It ended up being a little bit untidy. So for about a month now, I've been sitting on this. It starts, I've got to say, I was watching a thing with Bro Sanchez and talking about the scarab beetle. Scarab beetle, as you know, has exoskeleton. It has three key body parts to it. Here's an Egyptian scarab here. Um, it's got a head and a thorax and an abdomen, and I think this sort of three is a very important part of the Nikola Tesla 3, 6, and 9. And I'm going to offer a theory here. I don't know if it's already out there. People are already talking about this. I haven't really seen that, but I want to offer a theory for you guys to kind of chew over and do what you will with. We all know that the tree is made up of three key parts. The tree's obviously got the upper section. It's got the trunk and it's got the root bed, and the root bed is obviously the underside, the as above, so below. We've got to bear this in mind throughout all of this, because I think the as above, so below gets a little bit lost. I hope this is coming through clear enough for you. But the as above, so below gets a little bit lost because this is like the traditional idea of what we think of as the torus model of the human, electromagnetic human. And I'm talking here at the microcosm level, but obviously I want to bring to your attention the macrocosm, the as above, so below, the God created man in his own image, and that the human is, it seems, a microcosm of what's going on in the wider universe. So this is the traditional model. It's kind of like an apple, that we're like an apple, and that, say, the human is our human experience is that we live on this cut through of the apple, inside of the torus. That's it. But it's come to my attention, this sort of electromagnetic primer fields research that guys have been doing, and it's fantastic work. I don't have the names of people right now to hand, but fantastic boffins are doing this work where they can take a couple of magnets, powerful magnets, and create like a field in between of that, where they can get non-magnetized iron balls to form up these sacred geometric shapes. And the more balls they put in, the more these shapes just continue to develop. And that really got me thinking about a couple of things. Firstly, the shape of these. Okay, so the shape of these starts to create things that we see in our everyday world. There's a logo called Under Armour. I've actually got it here. If you're in the chat room, I do apologize. I'm not really doing this to be in the chat room. I would like to have a premiere thing or whatever they do with these, and have people talk to me through it. But this is just an idea of that, where you got the U and the A. So the two bowls side by one on top of the other, and this is very important, where we got two parts to a three-part system. And so I was thinking about this quite a lot, and the scarab beetle, as I said, that Bro Sanchez was talking about. There's a picture of Bro. Yeah, cheers, bro. picture that, bro, with the scarab beetle and so on. And the scarab beetle has got three parts to it. And I think I had another picture. This scarab beetle, yeah, look at that. There's three. It's important that there's three legs. There's the A, there's the U, and then there's this one here. And there's three parts, as I said earlier on. So this is very interesting to me because, you know, our model, the Apple model that we typically use, is really just, well, an apple, really. I mean, it's like, I mean, I've got this thing here. Look at this. This onion ball here is like a you know, oblate spheroid. and this is what typically is we're sort of given as our model. Is it's an apple, a single torus field like this with some nuance, but as I said, it's cut through like that, yeah, and that's where we're meant to be living and so on. But for me, this is just a single system. Now I'm thinking, where's the three? Where's the Trinity in all of that? And the idea that actually instead of just being one apple, we're actually, well, two apples stacked on top of each other, one which has a positive negative charge and the other which has a positive negative charge. Yeah. And these would represent the 6 and the 9. I'm going to show you a logo that represents the 6 and the 9. You might have seen it before somewhere in your life. Good gosh, why is it so big? I don't know why it's so big, but there you go. That logo you will recognize is 6 and 9 and something else, isn't it? Because there's three parts to it, which is the 3 again, and then there's this fourth element, which is the blue in the middle. Well, we'll get to that. I mean, you could say there's this other element here, this fifth element. We'll get into those things a little later on, I think. So if you think that this here is either the 6 or the 9, and I'll say what makes most sense, and again, credit to Bro, he's always talking about feminine. So the female energy would be feminine, and therefore the male energy in this model would be the 6. And then there's a lot of good logic behind that. The 9 is the higher number, and it sits up here. For me, it sits on the top and in this model, and I have a drawing of it actually. Gosh, if I can find that, that would be great. I have a drawing that I'd like to show you, but it's not here. Damn. I have a drawing and I will get it for you, but bear with me. Okay, this is all rough and ready, but let's just say stick with this for now. That the 6 and the 9 are kind of similar. It's just an inversion of the other. One is coming out and the other one is going in, and these two are sitting, as I've suggested here, one atop of the other. But if we come back to our tree of life and we consider the elements of the tree, we will notice that the tree has, well, it has its roots and its bole, the bole of the tree canopy, and then the trunk in between, which is separating these two energy forces. So I would suggest that between these two would be an energy force. Hey. I'm just doing a little live thing on this torus, triple torus. Yeah, and sorry, a little technical issue there. Okay, so that's the first. That's a very key aspect. Is that you've got these two energy forces, two very separate and different, albeit similar energy forces, and then you have this third, which is the trunk of the tree. And the trunk of the tree is, and this is obviously for debate and discussion, but the trunk of the tree in my model would sit between these two rotating energy forces, and I would suggest to you that the top force, the feminine force, is twisting this way, and the lower force, the 6, is twisting in the opposite direction. And into each of these, you will have a vortex at the center, one going down and the other going up. The heavier materials going downward, and we know that the earth below our feet gets denser and denser. And then we know that things get lighter and lighter as they rise up, or lighter and lighter things only get to rise up. But in between of that, you have what is in an electromagnetic universe would be like a plasma field. And that plasma field, I would contend to you, my friends, is possibly where we come into this, where we live. And I've got this sort of depiction. My son did this for me. He took this golden chalice. What's it called? You know what it's called. Anyway, he took that and flipped another one upside down for me, and then created like a sort of. So that would be your root bowl. I've got a better version in this. Here it is. So that would be your root bowl. That would be your canopy, and that's again your trunk. And in between of them, what you've got is like a sort of center moment of where everything is kind of happening. And I would suggest to you that is the X factor. That is the point of singularity. That is where we are. And that is from which everything resonates. And if you take this X and you wrap it around, then you get what I call the thorax, the axe that actually wraps itself around the entire the trunk of the tree, but with the love energy, the green energy spreading out from it. And furthermore, why I am really excited by this idea is McDonald's. You see, because McDonald's, we know, if you've listened to Russian vids, we know that McDonald's is actually... Oh, can't read this file. Why not? McDonald's 33. Yeah. Oh, my boy's home now. I'm going to have to quit this in a second. But you need to see this. This is an important aspect of it. You know why? Because the McDonald's 33 that we all know about, and the 33 of Freemasonry, which is so important, what if they're actually hiding something else? What if the 33 is actually 8? They flip the 8. They flip the 3 and make it 8, and that's the universe. That's infinity right there. And what you've got, yeah, you would have the secrets. There's 3, 6, and 9. What you have here is the space in which the two torus fields exist. So that, my friends, is a quick summary of my torus field. I mean, I think the bowl, I've got a whole lot of stuff for you, like on, for example, like these bowls, right? Take the word bowl. You've got the word owl in that, right? Now the owl is a phenomenal creature in that its head and its body can turn separately from each other. So think about this. The head and the body turn separately from each other. The letter B is an interesting letter. I mean, I've got to really take a little bit of time to break all of this down for you. But when you take this model that I have been contemplating for a little while, if you take this model and you put like a dielectric plane across the center like this, then you get all of the outward going energy that we see. I mean, this really needs more kind of picking apart and refining. Make no doubt about it. But I'm suggesting that what we live on is possibly these rings, and that every time there's a new season or a new year or a new epoch, then these rings move out one bit, and that perhaps even the mountains that we see, like the Himalayas and the Rockies and other such mountain ranges, are the consequence of cyclical sort of teardrops or age drops or rain, growth drops from this ring system that we might live on. There is this one other component of the tree that we never really talk about, and that's the bark. And the bark is actually the electrical arc. And again, I dropped the letter B, but the B is one of the most important and esoteric things out there. It flies without creating an electromagnetic or electrostatic charge, and it moves through the ether like that, we believe. It's a three-parted body as well. It's got the lower limbs, it's got the upper limbs, and it's got the wings. And as I've pointed out to you, I think that the wings of love, the wings of love are this holy grail cups with these axe wound, or this axe wings that wrap all the way around it. And then what we see electrical arcing, that we call lightning, and that we see electrical arcing, which is called the bark on a tree. And the tree bark is like our skin. It is our protection from the ether around us. And I think that our universe has a bark around it, an arc, and that may well be the roof or the lid or the edge or whatever, the disability or the inability for us to travel too far, either outwards or upwards or downwards. I think the outwards thing is an interesting thing when you think about us living in something like that. There is possibly some sort of rim that we can't get past. But this is just like I wanted to throw it out there. I wanted to make sure that friends who know that the Earth looks like this have got time or have got the opportunity to think about a different way of seeing the world. Like a pomegranate. But with two, like the MasterCard logo here. Where have I got here? You got the MasterCard logo, where you got these two sort of competing energies fighting against each other, moving closer and further apart, depending on seasons and so on. And then in between it, you've got this electromagnetic field. Don't you love how this creates a south-north with a U in between, which is sun? Doesn't it make you wonder whether this is why they call it a sun? Because there's a south-north pole with like this bar magnet. What do you call it, a bar or horseshoe magnet? So those are my thoughts. I mean, let me just quickly, something else I wanted to point to your attention was that why I say 3 torus fields is because the human has 3 key torus fields. I'm going to suggest that the human has 3 key torus fields. They are the torus field, the lower torus field, which is situated around the clitoris. You got the upper torus field, which is situated around the skull, or the Adam's apple. I would suggest to you that where this dude is hairy is where we got a torus field coming out. So I haven't got the lower part, but it's the chest is where the heart is. The earth is the heart. So this is where you'll see that you've got like a sternum with spiraling out rays of energy, which are your rib cage, and they are protecting basically, or showing up where the torus field is. So you got the lower, the upper, and the middle torus fields, and they are slightly different. You got these two magnets, and then an electromagnetic. Oh, my son's starting to get a little testy here. I'm going to have to call it short, but I want to talk about this more because it raises some very interesting possibilities. I can see the entire alphabet now in this model. I can see how every letter is created and formed from it, and this drawing that I didn't have access to right now does really help with that. But this is it here. This is your upper bowl, this is your lower bowl, and this is from the heart, which is where we are. So I'm going to leave you with this before I go. I'm going to leave you with this suggestion that if Earth is heart, and heart is what we have in our chest, and this is an electromagnetic system, and we are miniature electromagnetic systems within that, is it possible that the heartbeat of the human is providing the heartbeats for this system? I don't want to focus on that, but it's just like a thought exercise to say that what if our combined hearts are elevating or inflating one of these? So a masculine or the higher feminine energies are either being inflated or deflated depending on what the humans are doing in between. So that's I think it's a completely new way of thinking of this. If I'm mistaken, then so be it. I really wanted to share this and get folks to give me some feedback on it, and yeah, see where it leads. I've been quite excited for it for about a month. I've been not able to push this out there, but here it is in rough, and I hope to do something more about it. I did approach Norbs about doing something about it, but he hasn't seen anything about it, so we'll see. Before I go, there might be some comments. I can't really read this now. My eyesight is a bit not so good. It's Drew. I can see Drew's there. Hey, bro. Nice to see you, man. And Tommy. Thanks for your nice comments earlier, bro. Yeah. Oh, hi, Residented. Yeah, nice to see you. Thanks for stopping by, Rudy. And I have been very quiet lately, so I have missed you, though, by the way, and I have been wanting to do more, say more, but let's just say other pressures have been pressing. And anyway, the time was, I had this moment, so I've grabbed it. There it is. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, I'll try and, I don't know how much this one video is going to do, and I knew I wanted to put something really short and punchy together so that people would share it, and it would get some kind of feedback one way or another. People can rubbish it, but I think those that have got like a smarter brain than me, that can kind of say, okay, so let's look at how these electromagnetic forces could work. But I think that if you think in terms of plasma, a plasma field being created from the center and sort of spilling out this way, in sort of waves rather than some sort of solid thing, but waves creating this round, and eventually you get the 0 with the 1, yeah, and then all the letters, P and God, by the way, is in here as well. Obviously, if all the letters here, but it really spells out God in a way I've never seen anything do it for me. And so when you think about the human, we are perhaps the lower, the upper, and the central one, with an arcing, a skin going around us. But if you look at us in the electromagnetic field, yes, we may appear like a whole apple, because this is kind of like a whole apple, but it's
but it's so much more. And I'm just hoping that this model helps us to think about things in a different way. So, thanks very much for stopping by, and love and happiness and so on. There's been some shitty moon around, I think, but nearly full. And Andrea assures me it's all good. It was all the good things are coming. Actually, there's a few. I should say thank you to Lee, Flat Earth British sub, for his ongoing thought. What's the word? I don't know. He just says nice stuff about me, and I'm like, how it's kind of rewarding in some way, or reassuring, or because you can start to think. I don't know if this affects you, but it does me. That people aren't really that interested in what you have to say, and that so many people around you, your family, extended family, and so on, who think you're crazy, and so on and so forth. It can feel a little bit isolated, and as I was saying to Lee, without a regular job and so on, you can really feel like shit. What are you meant to be doing? And when as CC was just saying, on a video I watched, Chris from New York. We do have shit. What was he saying? I'm sorry, Chris. It slipped my mind now. But it was more to do with your heading on that one, saying about how the title on that we what's our purpose? What is our purpose when we've been given this incredible information and we've been given incredible insights, and there seems to be some purpose to this. There has to be a purpose to this. There cannot be no good purpose for us to all have come to this juncture, and for it not to mean anything, and for there not to be a value in it. Whether it's simply that we're preparing the arc, the mental arc, for the coming events, or that there is a need for us to be physically prepared for whatever's coming. It seems to me that something is coming. It seems to us that something is coming. But then there's days when it's like, shit, I'm meant to be on the treadmill. I'm meant to be doing that 9-to-5 job and, kissing some guys, some persons. But wearing some corporate colors. Anyway, I won't belabor this, but to say that